Hello, welcome to Locked on Sharks, the premier hockey podcast of your favorite team in the Bay. Aaron, on today's episode, Erik Karlsson is just awesome. So we'll talk about the Sharks 4-win over the Washington Capitals, and then we're going to talk some Barracuda in the last segment. So all that and more on today's episode of Locked on Sharks.
You're Locked on Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked on Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm your host, JD Young, contributor at Fear the Fin, RIP, and San Jose Hockey Now. I want to thank you for making Locked on Sharks your first listen. We're free and available wherever you get podcasts, and of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. And the Sharks win 4-1 over the Washington Capitals. Pretty entertaining game, actually. You know, a nice finish for the team as they kind of went through this odyssey of a road trip. And you know, we're going to look at Erik Karlsson's play, Kaapo Kahkonen's play prior to his injury, and then, you know, kind of just a check-in on where this team is at heading in as they head home now and get to actually play some games at home. But before we get into today's episode, do want to let you know that today's episode is brought to you guys by FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Locked On. Make every moment more. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn today to get started. And of course, how can you not start with Erik Karlsson? Another goal, 2 assists, casual 3-point afternoon for Carlson, as he's now up to 73 points on the season. He is 10 away from tying Brent Burns' franchise record for a defenseman. This was game 54. Not a math guy. That's 28 games left. Basically, yeah, Carlson needs 10 points in the last 28 games. And he will tie Brent Burns' record for points from a defenseman in a season. Yeah. What he's doing is ridiculous. And, you know, there was the rumors that this weekend the Edmonton Oilers and Sharks had re-entered potential trade conversations of Erik Karlsson. I still don't believe it's going to happen, just because I think there's just too many moving pieces to get this deal done. You know, there's too much money for too long, maybe having to probably be split between 3 teams. So I don't see it happening right now. Who knows? Again, I think it's more likely Erik Karlsson wins a Norris and a Sharks jersey this year than he gets traded. That was my kind of big, you know, proclamation at the beginning of the season. But Erik Karlsson is, I mean, what he's doing right now is making this team relevant, you know, most nights for him and Timo Meier. And just, he's such a joy to watch play hockey. I've said it so much about Erik Karlsson. I don't know what else to say. He's really good, and we should be cherishing this time that we have him, because 1, we don't know how long we're going to have him, or 2, how long he's going to stay healthy. But Erik Karlsson this year has decided that he is the best player in the NHL, and he is well on his way to kind of claiming that throne as the best defenseman in the NHL right now, and on a terrible, terrible team. So just great to see Erik Karlsson cooking this year. Kaapo Kahkonen, though, he really playing well up until his injury. So if you didn't see the game, Kudisnov, I always screw up his name. He came in, you know, charging towards the goal. Kuznetsov. I don't know why I tried to put a D in there. Kuznetsov. Anyway, trying to, you know, power forward his way into the goal, and kind of gets the puck around Kaapo Kahkonen, and then Kuznetsov clips Kaapo Kahkonen right in the head. He laid on the ice for a couple minutes, and, you know, it looked like he just kind of tried to shake it off, and played for like another 10 seconds, and then they got him out of there, and Aaron Dell had to come in and finish out the game for him. Aaron Dell was great, didn't give up a goal in his time in net for the last, period plus. But you feel bad for Kaapo Kahkonen, who's really been playing some of his best hockey this season. These last kind of 4 or 5 games where, with James Reimer hasn't been playing that much. I know he's dealing with an illness. That's why Aaron Dell was called up. But hopefully, if it looks like a concussion, sounds like a concussion, quacks like a concussion, it's probably a concussion. So they're not saying what it is. David Quinn said after the game, that Kaapo Kahkonen looks pretty good, but with concussions where, sometimes you don't feel the effects for 24, 48, 72 hours after. So going to keep an eye on Kaapo Kahkonen. I would be surprised if he starts. I think Tuesday night is their next game. I'd be surprised to see Kaapo Kahkonen on Tuesday night. Expect probably Reimer and Dell, some sort of combination there. But yeah, I mean, you just feel bad because you could really tell you're starting to find his groove. It's not like the Sharks were playing these like cupcake teams. He was playing really well against some really good teams lately and really kind of found his groove here at the start of the second half of this season. So hopefully he can get better quickly. Take all the time you need, Kaapo Kahkonen, but hopefully gets better here quickly and he can, kind of take that role as the number one goaltender and really kind of lock that down for the Sharks heading into the offseason. And again, one less thing you have to worry about going into this offseason, especially when, it does sound like James Reimer is probably going to get traded here. So you're going to have to find another capable goalie to play behind Kaapo Kahkonen. I think that's a lot to ask for a guy like Eetu Makiniemi. So I expect the Sharks to be in the goalie market this off season when there's plenty of time to dive into, good replacement kind of backup goalies. But, for now, get better soon, Kaapo Kahkonen, and hopefully he can continue to kind of play at the level that we've seen him play in the last couple of weeks because, he's been playing some of his best hockey. I think we've seen him play in a long, long time. So before we get into kind of the line with some new look lines in today's game, then we're going to talk some Barracuda at the very, very end. Do want to let you guys know about our friends over at Athletic Greens. If you're trying to, get some better gut health, you want more energy, you want to optimize your immune system, you don't like taking a bunch of pills, you want it nice and quick and simple and easy. That's where Athletic Greens comes in. One delicious scoop of their AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to start your day right. Support your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, aging, all of those things. And the best thing about it, it's less than $3 a day. That's cheaper than going to the store and buying all the pills and vitamins all yourself. Cheaper than going and getting your coffee every day. Athletic Greens has over 7,000 five-star reviews are recommended by professional athletes. So they're going to make it really easy for you guys right now. Go to athleticgreens.com/NHL Network to give you a free 1-year supply of their immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Again, just visit athleticgreens.com/NHL Network to take ownership over your health and pick up your ultimate daily nutritional insurance. All right. So let's get into the numbers of this game. Sharks kind of sneaky dominated the Caps in this game. At 5-on-5, it was pretty close in the first period, and then the Sharks kind of just blew this game open. So shot attempts 57-38 and 5 out of 5 in favor of the Sharks. Actual shots was 27-17, again 5-on-5. Scoring chances 33-17 in favor of the Sharks, 16-9 high danger chances in favor of the Sharks. 3.33 expected goals to 2.04 expected goals for the Caps. So again, Sharks just kind of taking it to the Capitals, which, looking hindsight 2020, Capitals, big, tough, emotional game against the Bruins. Just they had to travel back from that game, short turnaround, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe they just want to go home and watch the watch the Super Bowl, all that fun stuff. But we'll see if the new look lines will stay together moving forward. But most of them performed pretty well. And since the Sharks had a lead kind of most of this game, they were able to kind of roll the lines and rely on. And Caps had 3 power plays and the Sharks had 4. So it's not like it was a huge, a lot of special teams in this game. But the lines, though, I mean, Barabanov, Couture, and AC Mont played 8:34 time on ice at 5-on-5, 14 shot attempts, gave up 10. Actual shots was 7-6, had a goal and gave up a goal. But they really brought the offense 1.12 expected goals for. So, that line was kind of humming and clicking all day. 10 scoring chances, gave up 6. Barabanov, though, today was an absolute monster. Then that line also had 7 high danger chances, gave up 3, with kind of mostly neutral zone starts, 4 offensive, 7 neutral zone starts. So that second line really I think kind of was one of the difference makers in this game where, Barabanov was all over the ice. AC Mont was kind of doing AC Mont things. AC Mont, you're gonna get the occasional penalty from him. You're gonna have to kind of live it. He's kind of that like Luke Cunnin 2.0 type of guy where, he's going to be a little feisty, probably over the edge every once in a while, and he's going to take a penalty that you probably wish you didn't take. But again, you didn't have to give up a 3rd-round pick for him. So, but Barabanov really, really had a good road trip, and I think this was the culmination of that road trip with his goal today. Was kind of all over the ice, creating stuff and being the engine on this line for them, and so. I think this Barabanov Couture AC Mont line needs to kind of stick together right now. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Let these guys continue to play. So Nick Bonino swapped with Noah Gregor. So Gregor had been on the top line for the past couple of games. Bonino took that spot today. I don't know if it's the little pump and dump. Go play with Hurdle and Meyer for a little bit. But 8:33 time on ice, 8 shot attempts, 5 allowed. Actual shots was 6-3. Didn't provide too much in the old expected offense, had 0.18. This line was kind of a little bit quieter than you would expect. And that's probably, again, because of them facing the Caps top line, getting all the defensive attention. 5 scoring chances, 3 allowed, 0 high danger chances, which is really weird, especially when Timo Meier is on the ice. They had 7 offensive zone starts, so probably not their best game. I still think they're trying to, again, if you just put Kevin Labanc in the line up there, you would have like 2 good lines with Labanc, Hurdle, Meyer, and then Barabanov, Couture, AC Mont. But apparently Kevin Labanc is never playing hockey again this season. So Oscar Lindblom, Nico Sturm, Noah Gregor. Poor Noah Gregor. 8:16 time on ice, 13 shot attempts, 4, gave up 4, 5 shots gave up 2.51 expected goals, 8 scoring chances, 4, second most on the team, 4 high danger chances, gave up 0, and then they were kind of 3-2-4, so they had a lot of different zone starts. But Noah Gregor hitting the post on an empty netter has to be the most yes. I like if that's not a summarization of Noah Gregor's career so far, where it's like he does so many things right and you can see it like how many times you see the speed, you see the skill. The poor guy just can't hit. I don't know if he has the yips, or I don't know if he's maybe just needs to practice his shooting more. I don't, because you've seen like his first season, you saw some of the shooting, like his rookie season, like you saw some of the shooting. But Noah Gregor hitting the posts on an empty netter is the perfect encapsulation of Noah Gregor's career so far. But Noah Gregor is like a perfectly cromulent third line winger. Like again, Lindblom, Sturm, Gregor, like that's perfectly fine, right? Enough speed, enough skill, enough whatever. Like they got a little bit of everything. But poor Noah, if Noah Gregor could hit if he could hit the net like more than 6% of the time, he would be the greatest player that ever laced up the skates, I swear. Poor Noah Gregor. Jonah Gadovich, Steven Lawrence, Evgeny Svechnikov, 449, 4 shot attempts, 4, gave up 5. The actual shots was 2-4. Svechnikov did have that nice goal to start the scoring, especially, again, Erik Karlsson kind of starting things there. But, Svechnikov, again, a guy that you found for free, basically, one of your kind of last signings. He's, again, perfectly cromulent, kind of bottom pair guy who can score a little bit. And I think looking back, the Svechnikov signing so far has been a success for this Sharks team. Mike Greer in his, I just want to have some capable NHL players on the team. Evgeny Svechnikov has been a capable NHL player for the Sharks this season. So I think you have to be pretty happy with his game. And, I think you have to be really happy with the Sharks game in general. They kind of took it to the Caps and then the Capitals, they, scored, got it within 1. And then the Sharks, again, just kind of put the pedal to the metal and put this game away, which is something we have not seen from the Sharks this season. Is how often do they give up 1 goal and it snowballs into something else. And, and then all of a sudden they're down. I even tweeted out this game feels like a OT loss, and then Erik Karlsson scored, and that was it. So they're got the goalies. So Kaapo Kahkonen, 12 saves on 13 shots. The Sharks did a good job of limiting the Caps' actual shots on goal. Again, in all situations for the Capitals, they only had like 21 shots in this game. Like, the Sharks did a great job at 21 shots. The Sharks did a great job in limiting the Caps, actual getting pucks on net. So the numbers, for Kaapo Kahkonen, again, kind of what we've seen recently from him. So 12 saves on 13 shots. Expected goals against was 1.839, 23 save percentage. He only had 3 high danger saves, and he made shots. He made 2. That one, I mean, if you wanted to argue, it could have been goaltender interference. You could spin the wheel of goaltender interference to see what happens. But mid-danger shots, he was perfect 4 for 4 and 5 for 5 on low danger. And then Dell came in 22 minutes, played for him almost 23 minutes, made 8 saves on 8 shots. Was perfect, was 3 high danger, 2 mid danger, and 3 low danger. So, I think that's not much you could ask for Aaron Dell. Coming in being perfect like that. So before we get in, I want to talk some Barracuda because Barracuda had a big weekend series against the Calgary Wranglers. So I want to talk about that. Talk about William Eklund's Saturday night. But before we do that, I do want to let you guys know about our friends over at FanDuel. I know the Super Bowl is over, but that doesn't mean betting season's over. The midway point of the NBA season is here, and now is the perfect time to download the FanDuel app, America's #1 sportsbook, because new customers get a no-sweat first bet of up to $1,000. That's bonus bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. It's safe, secure, and super easy to use. You can bet on everything from the money line to point scores to threes drained. They've got really fun ones like 2 3-pointers scored in the first 3 minutes. That's great because right away if you won or lost. Like that's like a really fun bet. I like those little like kind of quick ones like that where it's like boom, if you won right away. You don't have to kind of wait and draw out, and nothing worse than like the old bad beats, the Scott Van Pelt bad beats thing, right? Where it's like, you have the over or the under, and then all the way until the very, very end, it's looking good, and then something bad happens. So I love the little quick ones like that. If you lose, you lose. If you win, great way to kind of like start your game. So plus FanDuel even lets you combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with the same game parlay. So don't miss the chance to get your no sweat first bet up to $1,000 in bonus bets when you go to FanDuel.com/lockedon. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon to learn more. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NBA. All right, so Barracuda had a big weekend series against the Calgary Wranglers. I'm still trying. I don't know. Wranglers does not roll off the tongue super well. I called them the Heat, I called them the Flames. Yeah, they're a mess up there. They get your name together, Calgary. But big weekend series. They lost on Friday night in a game where they were like dominated they like outshot. They did like everything right. But unfortunately, Calgary has Dustin Wolf. If you missed, I was on Locked On Flames Friday, where we talked about Timo Meier potential trade destinations, and I talked about one Dustin Wolf. He is really, really good at hockey, and he's going to be an outstanding goalie for years to come in the NHL. And he basically put the kibosh on the Barracuda that game. Bordeaux scored super, super late in the game, but that was Dustin Wolf basically standing on his head that entire game. Like, it was pretty crazy just how many times he just kind of shut down the Barracuda in that game. And got goalie, whatever. You're at this point in the season, you're starting to run out of positive or what, good losses or whatever. Like, you need to start putting wins together, especially because the Barracuda right now, they are fighting for their lives to get in the playoffs. They are currently so they are 2 points back of the Bakersfield Condors, and the Condors have 2 games in hand. So the Barracuda need to start kind of stringing some wins here and stringing points together here to make a push for the playoffs. It is pretty important that if this season has been about them trying to make be a competitive team, and I know they've dealt with some injuries, but every team deals with injuries, et cetera, et cetera. So again, they had 43 shots. Like, Dustin Wolf is really good. So, but Saturday's game, it was really fun, especially that third period. So slow start for the Barracuda as per usual, or they scored the first goal. And then, they gave up a first goal, slow start, and then they got back into it. Awesome third period from the Barracuda. And this is where I really want to kind of focus on was William Eklund just being outstanding. I know they lost this game 5-4 in a shootout, but this was one of those like Eklund games where you point to and you're just like, yes, this is what you're getting from in the future from the Sharks. A guy who every time he took a shift, especially in that third period, you could tell, like, yes, I'm the best player on the ice, and there's not much you can do about it. So had 2 goals. He almost had a hat trick. He probably could have had 4 goals in this game. He had a golden chance in the first period where he was just a little bit too close to the goalie when he got the puck and didn't really have enough room to kind of deke around the goalie. But yes, Eklund, you just saw, like, just every time he set on the ice, the confidence that he got, like, I'm the best player on the ice, and there's not much anybody else on this team can do to stop me. And it's not like the Calgary Calgary's an amazing team this year. I think they're like first or second in the Pacific standings right now. Like, they are one of the best teams in all. They're first in the Pacific standings. Actually, they're the best team in all of the AHL points wise. They have 68 points this season so far. Like, this isn't just some like scrub team. Like, this is the best team in the AHL right now. And the Sharks really took it, or the Barracuda really took it to them in that third period. And I talked to John McCarthy this offseason, and something that talked to me about that kind of has stuck with me is where when you see like losing streaks, you see winning streaks and losing streaks is near the end of him, you can tell when something's going to start to happen, right? Where you talk about like, yeah, we may be winning, but we're not playing the same way. We're not doing the little things right. And that's where the losing starts to come in. And then when you're kind of the vice versa, right? The Barracuda are going through a losing streak now, but they're playing really well, especially the kind of the end of that game. And you're hoping that's the starting point of a winning streak going for this Barracuda team. But, William Eklund, I know there's plenty of should he play in the NHL and stuff. I think he should be getting a shot, especially after the trade deadline, where you assume you're going to have guys like Nieto's already gone. Sorry, like Bonino's gone. You're going to have like some of these guys kind of picked out of the lineup. Apparently, Kevin LeBanc is never going to play again. You're going to have to call somebody up, and I think William Eklund has done enough to prove in that he should be one of the call-ups. And again, it's not like he has to. You can send him down at any point. It's at any time. Just you need to have a clear conversation with him. Hey, you worked really hard at the AHL. We want to give you a shot. See how you're doing. There's a really open spot right now that Nick Bonito has been playing in next to Meyer and Hurdle. Or just, put him with Hurdle, put him with an experienced center, like put him with your best center, put him in a position to succeed, right? And he's done that on the Barracuda. Do it with the Sharks. We want to see what you got. We want to see what you've learned. We want to see what you need to continue to work on. That way you know what you need to continue to work on when and if you go back to the AHL. Let's see what you got, buddy. Come out and play. Come up and play. So, anyway, Barracuda, though, they really need to start getting their points here really soon. So, yeah, it's getting really late for them, really early here soon. So, but their schedule, I'm pulling up their schedule right now. Why can't I pull up their schedule right now? Schedules. Okay. For the Barracuda, yeah, I know they've got some. All right, so they play Ontario on Wednesday, home game, and then they got another kind of road trip here against. They play up to Abbotsford, Ontario again, Coachella Valley. So they got some big games coming up here. So they need to start kind of racking up some points here soon to get themselves back into the playoff mix. So that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be back tomorrow. Looks like another draft profile got lined up. So again, going to try to do one draft profile a week through the season right now. And then once the season finishes up, or at least once the Shark season finishes up, start getting a couple more of those and diving into some more of the, second round guys and end of the first. We'll know what draft picks the Sharks have by then. So at least the range that we'll have, so we can kind of start focusing on guys in that area. But so yeah, got another potential top 5, top 10 pick lined up for on Monday or for Tuesday's episode. So make sure you guys are following me on Twitter at @ByFryhole. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Locked On Sharks. You can listen wherever you get podcasts. You watch on YouTube. And until tomorrow, bye, friends.